New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,421. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Chad Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today, once again, we will sit and spin, and today we head down under to talk with Angus Young of AC/DC. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack,
drink it to drive. All right, here we go. Seattle woman finds a kilo of cocaine at a local Goodwill, turns it into cops, who then partied into the night. Meanwhile, a Florida woman robs a bank in a wheelchair and is apprehended a block away without a fight. Florida man blames rap song as to why he was driving 120 miles an hour. Kids are expelled from Catholic school because of pics online showing mom's beautiful flower. And BC farmer gives Lynx the business for eating 2 of his chickens. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right. There was an oil spill in Israel, and authorities call it one of the country's worst ecological disasters ever. They're saying most of Israel's 120 miles of Mediterranean coastline is covered in tar, which obviously has caused extensive damage to the local wildlife, including sea turtles. Now, in addition to scrubbing the turtles down, workers also needed to, quote, clear their digestive tracts. So I know what you're thinking. How do you make a turtle poop? Well, let's face it, it's a question as old as time. But apparently, you feed them mayonnaise. You give them mayonnaise, they poop their lives out. Who knew? Seems that mayonnaise is to turtles what Jack Daniels and Taco Bell are to humans. A quick and easy way to poop. A quick and easy way to blow mud. To launch a butt shuttle. A quick and easy way to squeeze the cheese. Now, that said, should you find yourself needing to drop the kids off at the pool, doctors do not recommend my Jack Daniels and Taco Bell elixir, but we do have 11 ways to make yourself poop when you need fast relief, according to doctors. And some of the suggestions you'd expect, others might surprise you, but surprise suggestions, that's a whole lot better than surprise moments. We've all had that uncomfortable epiphany that something that we ate or drank is unexpectedly stirring our guts. And if we don't find a bathroom soon, there's going to be a problem. And you know how it goes. It happens every day of your life. Your stomach starts making that sound like a draining water cooler. Then you start screaming, "Hodor!" to your rectum. That's a Game of Thrones joke. Anyway, today we want to talk about the bubble guts that you didn't know you were going to have. So today's question, quite simple. We dial it down to the childhood lingo, if you will. What upset your tummy?
Be a part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, all of Cholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music, from King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba.
What happened, Buford?
That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com. And send those emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Over Charles, and away we go. Welcome to Season 16, Episode number 3,421. What a large and a large program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeats.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I believe we have talked to the members of AC/DC one time before.
Have we?
Probably about 6 or 7 years ago. But once again, today we get to talk to Angus Young of AC/DC on Sit and Spin.
I do not recall talking to them in the past.
You do not?
I don't. You remember this, Ted?
Yes?
That sounded very confident.
Yeah. It wasn't.
We just watched a Men's Room movie that we made about 12 years ago that a listener sent us a video for, and I totally forgot about the whole thing. You pull up in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something?
A yellow Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Fresh Air Force One. You drinking with a pregnant lady.
Steve said he didn't remember it. I didn't remember even any of it. So
none of it?
No. I mean, basically, no. No, we didn't remember any of it. Just watching it what the hell is this?
Like, what is this?
Exactly. Yeah, it's terrible. But yes, AC/DC, Angus Young. I'm going to talk about their brand new one, Power Up, that came out about a year ago. Obviously, those guys are getting ready to hopefully get out on the road at some point in time.
That was the plan a year ago.
Yeah, and since that point in time, they've gone through all kinds of lineup changes and everything else. By the time they finished their last tour, Axl Rose had taken over from Brian Johnson on lead vocal. The drummer was in a bit of a conundrum because Mr. Rudd held someone hostage and threatened to kill them.
I thought he hired a hitman.
Right. So we did talk to him, and it was like, don't bring that up.
Yeah, right. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then there was...
I believe Angus's quote about, so the drummer of the band, like, hired a hitman to kill somebody, whatever the deal was, all right? But I remember Angus, I believe his quote to us was, I believe he's found himself in a spot of trouble.
Yes, he has.
That was the entire comment.
But Phil Rudd is now since out of that spot of trouble. Cliff Williams, the bassist of the band, he rejoined after temporarily retiring. So basically, as far as, obviously Malcolm has passed away and Bon Scott has passed away, but for the most part, you've got AC/DC back together.
Sure.
Again. So when they go back on the road in this album, it's brand new stuff. So we're fired up to talk to Angus Young. And today on the question, quite simply, what upset your tummy? This is a bizarre story.
Oh, you don't like tummy?
Ted's going to go, he said he's going to go crazy with Mike saying tummy all day when he answers the phone.
It just sounds awkward. It's an adult man
your tummy.
talking to other adults. Okay, tell me what's wrong with your tummy.
That's why we thought it was funny.
Right. Yeah. There's all kinds of things that can upset your tummy. You know what I mean?
Sure. I'm well aware.
Make for the worst case scenario in the world. You never know. But we start here in Israel. And when it comes to saving sea turtles, they say, Israeli rescuers have discovered that mayonnaise is, in fact, a miracle. Employees at Israel's National Sea Turtle Rescue Center, yes, the exact one you're thinking of, are treating endangered green sea turtles affected by the devastating oil spill that has basically coated their coast with thick black tar. The spill, which is one of the worst ecological disasters on record, you'll say ecological, that has coated more than 120 miles of the Mediterranean coastline with sticky tar. And if you know anything about Israel, it's not like it's covering a whole lot of coastline in the Mediterranean.
Right. I mean, that's their coastline.
120 miles is a lot. Workers have been using and removing the toxic substance from the reptiles' airwaves and found a creative way to flush it out of their digestive tracts. We continue to feed them substances, especially mayonnaise, which practically will clean the system and break down the tar. The recovery process is expected to take a week or two, after which the turtles are expected to be released back in the wild. So after a week or two of mayonnaise therapy, these guys are ready to go back into the water.
Do you think this is something that somebody there already knew, or they tested like 40 different products? And you know what I mean? Like if you said, hey,
don't know.
How do you make a turtle poop? I'd be like, now I know. But leading up to that, be like, what do you have in the fridge?
I'm trying to...
Italian dressing, horseradish. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but our version of like Jewish food... is deli food from the East Coast.
Right.
So Baltimore, you go into a deli. Yes, they have tuna fish salad. Yes, they have egg salad. They probably have macaroni or potato salad. I'm just trying to think of the foods that involve mayonnaise.
Right, and your traditional Jewish cuisine.
I just can't think of it.
Well, is there mayonnaise out at holidays?
No. I mean,
But that said,
to me, just white people eat mayonnaise.
But it's still in your fridge. You know what I mean?
There.
It's not part of your meal, but it's in my refrigerator if I open it.
To go to Israel and open up someone's refrigerator and there's the Hellmann's in there.
I mean, I would expect mayonnaise. I expect every condiment. For sure.
All right.
I mean, I don't think it's in huge supply, but I don't know anyone who has mayonnaise in huge supply. Like, on average, it's like a jar.
They have to have a lot of mayonnaise to take care of all these turtles.
Well, I don't know. The turtles are tiny.
Yeah.
How much mayonnaise are you giving them, man? I feel like if you got one jar of Hellmann's mayonnaise, I'm good with these turtles. That's my guess. Like, we don't need more than this.
Okay, well, look, one thing we know for a fact is that tortoises, turtles, I mean, the oldest living animal right now is a tortoise, right?
Right.
And it's like 190-some years old.
Something like that.
Yeah, which is insane, okay? Well, mayonnaise is clearing out the tar in their stomach.
Yeah.
So what does mayonnaise do to our stomachs? If it's doing that to basically a dinosaur, not a dinosaur, but something that's been around for thousands and thousands of years.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just eggs, right?
I was going to say, isn't mayonnaise just like egg whites?
I got to think eggs just make turtles poop. That is what I'm gleaning out of this. Not mayonnaise specifically, but eggs. But obviously, it's easier just to hand a mayonnaise and whip up egg whites. I'm sure meringue would do the same thing. Like if they had a banana cream pie, I'm sure they'd poop.
All right.
And probably prefer it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
I'm just wondering how they figured this out. Like, I know.
Well, no.
To make a turtle poop, mayonnaise.
Yeah. I think the worst...
Mayonnaise, I will say. Mayonnaise is one of those condiments, too. Like, it's always kind of around.
Yeah.
But then the one time it's not and you need it for something, it's like, oh, Christ.
Right. If you need it, it sucks if you don't have it.
The other one's sour cream. It's like, I needed sour cream.
I just don't make enough things with sour cream to keep it on the house.
But that's his point. And one time you want it, Just like, God damn it, I wish I had sour cream.
So this goes back about...
Maybe they should give those turtles sour cream, too.
This goes back about 5 weeks, all right? So I go to the grocery store. I'm in the mood for potato salad, macaroni salad, mayonnaise-based products. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right.
So they're prepackaged. They are sealed underneath a lid. It's got that saran wrap on it. You know what I mean? The peelable saran wrap. And I had it in the refrigerator for a couple weeks. And I thought, well, is this stuff any good, right?
Sure.
I opened it up. I smelled it. It kind of had a little bit of a hint of a whiff. But then again, the expiration date was until the end of March. It's like March 25th.
But that's an educated guess. The smell,
but I figured once it had been open, it's going to start going bad fast. Right?
Yeah, but there's something you can print on a label, and then if my nose is telling me danger, Will Robinson, in spite of the date, it's just kind of, you know what? I'm going to err on the side of caution because I haven't always done that.
Well, it also, truth be told, when I ate this stuff, I sometimes I go to bed. I fall asleep for like a half hour, 35 minutes, and then I get up like, I got a glass of water. So I go downstairs and get a glass of water or whatever, and then I'll look in the refrigerator like, what do we got in here? And I'll take like a finger of peanut butter or take a bite of something. So I just start housing this macaroni salad, like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And I'm just kind of out of it, like, because I see the fork in the sink the next morning. I'm like, what the hell did I eat? So I open up, I'm like, I ate that. And I realized the whole night, my stomach is just killing me.
Yeah, because you got the whiff.
I am farting. I had a fart that woke me up because it was so smelly and hot. And I was like, I'm in trouble. So I come into work.
I ate that mayonnaise that smelled weird.
I come into work, man. My stomach is just absolutely upside down from this stuff. And I told Steve, walked in, I'm like, hey, man, what's it mean when you poop green all morning? And that's what happened. I don't know what happened.
But you know what happened. You said you opened it, and it had the hint of a whiff. The hint is all you need, man. If there's smoke, there's fire, right? Like, that's the saying. So you see a little bit of smoke, but you're like, certainly this is not a blaze.
But that was
certainly
bad.
This is just phantom smoke. Like, dude, that's the message.
Yeah.
You smelled it.
And when you have that, you basically, it empties everything out.
Yeah, whatever's in you is now leaving.
When I went to the bathroom, man, it was everything. I mean, it was almost like the colonoscopy stuff.
Sure.
It was just unbelievable. I was like, oh, my God. And then I looked down, and it was green. So you know what I do? I got to Google it.
Of course.
So I go and Google it. What does this mean? Because it's green. You know what I mean? And it tells me all this stuff. And it also said that basically bad dairy will do this.
Turn it green?
Yes. And I was like, aha. That's it, because the other stuff I was trying to X out, because I didn't want to believe that stuff, because it was...
I can't.
Well, if you get a bad infection, it'll be green.
That's right.
Sure.
That's what I mean. Like, if you have this horrible infection, I'm like, no, that can't be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was basically
But again, you knew the problem because you smelled it. And, I would think if I'm your body, right, like, and I work in the nasal department, I'm like, I quit. Like, we told the guy, right, he sniffed it. We sent the signal to his brain that said, don't eat this, man. And he ignored us. And now the guys down in the butt department are like, what are you doing up there in the nasal? It's like, I did my job. He's not listening. So now your butt department has to deal with all this crap that they didn't want to deal with because they're thinking, hey, nose, aren't you kind of like the first line of defense?
What you're saying
Even
is...
before you taste it, if it smells bad, you know what I mean?
That makes too much sense.
It does. Like,
really
man,
does.
this smells bad. I'm going to eat it. Ooh, my stomach.
That's straight logic.
Same thing with the mushroom.
I was just saying, you have a history of it. You had to go to the hospital because you looked at a mushroom and said, this looks weird. I shouldn't eat it.
You have no idea how bad that thing messed me up, man.
But you didn't even smell it. You looked at it. Now the eyes are saying, hey, man, warning, don't eat. And it even registered in your brain, I shouldn't eat this. So what did you do? You ate it.
If it had the warning label on it, when you eat this mushroom, you will wake up in your bathroom with 2 broken ribs, your pants around your ankles, still haven't wiped, and there will be 4 firemen on top of you asking you if you're okay. Will you still eat this mushroom? And be like, hell no.
But your eyes told you that. Your eyes.
Yeah.
You said it looked,
maybe.
and this is a quote, it looked freaky. It's already,
that's why I wanted to eat it.
But a mushroom's already
all colorful
fungus.
Stuff. You know what I mean? I was like,
when fungus looks weird, then to me, then it's like super fungus at this point.
I think somebody at the mushroom factory is like, let's just drop this one in there because someone's going to have a hell of a night.
They probably said let's drop it in there because there's no way anyone eats this because it doesn't look right.
Right, or it just got packaged by mistake.
That mushroom was an $8,000 ambulance ride. $8,000 ambulance ride.
All right, I got another question. Back to your mayonnaise thing.
All right.
So we open up the package, we get the bad whiff.
Well, just the
smell
initial
it.
bad whiff. You're
We
like,
don't throw it. We don't throw it away.
No.
We leave it in the fridge, and then it got eaten by nighttime guy.
Correct. That's it. Same guy.
Same dude. Yeah.
Same guy. But I opened it at night. Like, I opened it when I was, like, half sleepwalking. So, like, it
But
wasn't open
why,
before.
after you smelled it, did you not throw it out? I've never thought.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
It's got to be okay because the expiration dates.
This milk smells awful. Let me put it back in the fridge. Let me put it back in the place.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I might use it later.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Our question, quite simply, what upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
Somebody even told he did the same thing with the mushrooms. Yeah, we're covering that.
Well, and it's weird. There are certain foods, right? Like
I like to waste food.
You guys will test this. But like in Maryland, right? You eat blue crabs and shrimp.
Oh yeah,
You're going to have a ton of Old Bay, and for me, Old Bay and vinegar. Now I know a few hours after that, my stomach's going to feel like garbage, but you still do
know
it, right?
And it's like me with the milkshake. There are certain things that I'll endure the pain later because I appreciate the taste. But it's when things surprise you, like the mushroom. Mm-hmm. You know, if I thought, hey, if I
what's worth fighting through? What do you know is going to tear you up? Like maybe it's a Bloody Mary, maybe it's something that gives you antacid, maybe it's or that gives you acid reflux. You know what I mean? Is there anything you'll fight through? Mimosas?
I think very few things are worth the acid reflux. As far as digestive problems, I would rather have the runs all day than have heartburn all day. That's just me. You know what I mean? And, I mean, neither one is great, but out of the I would turn down a Bloody Mary because of the heartburn.
But is there anything you will eat knowing what it's going to do to your body?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Milkshakes, absolutely.
I was going to say, most, like, crab dip or crab cakes with a ton of Old Bay.
That's the one.
I'll just get terrible indigestion for the whole next day. But I mean...
To me, I can house an entire bloomin' onion. And I know what it's going to do because it's a gut bomb.
Anything with cream. And the problem is I love dairy, right? So and I forget something as simple like chicken Alfredo, right? You don't think about it. It's just the sauce. I never think about it. And man, especially stuff like that, maybe an hour later, I'm like, oh no.
If I saw a Hooters, I would do a U-turn on an interstate to go and turn around and go. But I know every time I go to Hooters, about 2 hours later, I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Barbecue. Whatever I'm going to suffer because of barbecue, I'll suffer it, man. It's a little bit of everything. A little bit of heartburn, maybe the hiccups, definitely going to poop, and like fire poop. It's all that spicy stuff. You can feel it going through your intestines.
Yeah, I think cheese is probably the biggest one. Or dairy stuff.
Did you read the big survey on cheese today? Cheese apparently really good for you.
Well, if you're not lactose intolerant.
That's the problem.
Right. I'm not saying right. I'm just saying cheese is the one where I'll be like if I get a pizza on the weekend, often I'll say something to Mike like, I always forget I'm a little lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but you said you get extra cheese when you just get the
Yeah.
I want more of it.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, man.
But I know it's going to happen.
What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this guy. Truck Stop Sushi. Yes, I'm that dumbass. Ooh. It's right there in the name, man. Mm-hmm. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so my story was I ate 1.5 pounds of prunes.
Did you, we all know what prunes are designed for, thanks to old people letting us know. Were you aware that they're like nature's diuretic?
No, I didn't. So I was a traveling tech at the time, and I was working for a cable company, and I went to a grocery store to get a cup of coffee. Well, I'm standing in line, and next thing you know, you feel your tummy just go bubble, bubble, and I'm like, oh, no. So I run to the closest worker, and I was like, hey, can I use your restroom? They're like, yeah, it's in the back. So I get to the back. At this time, I'm doing the little dance. I just can't hold it. And as soon as I dropped my pants and I went to bend over, it shot everywhere. It was like a rocket all over the wall.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting down knowing that I was like, oh, wow.
I always wonder who does that, and it's you.
It's this guy. But right.
No, I did spend the time of cleaning it up because there was someone right behind me, and they were knocking on the door, and I'm, trying to wipe it off the wall.
They're knocking?
The toilet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is the worst. How long after you ate the prunes did your stomach turn on you?
I would say like an hour and a half.
And how long did this last? Was it the rest of the day?
It was that one time.
Okay, well, hopefully you don't drink prune juice or eat that many prunes anymore. That's what my grandmother used to give me because grandparents, for whatever reason, your parents at the time, they don't care if you have regular bowel movements. Very rarely do they ask, but for some reason, if you go to your grandma,
She is really into your bowel movement schedule.
Yeah, it's important to them. Yeah, absolutely.
And prune juice is kind of part of that recipe. I've often thought, though, if there's one thing that I know for a fact, let's just say I swallowed something and I need to get it out of me in 10 minutes, or it's going to do some, irreparable damage,
Right.
whatever. The one thing that I can do, no matter what, and take it out both ends immediately is a dip of Copenhagen.
Oh, sure.
If I do a dip of Copenhagen, I will throw up, I will poop, it completely just wrecks my world. I'll get rid of everything. Because I'll swallow some of the juices.
I was going to say, you got to learn how to spit.
I know, but I don't do it right, I guess. Because every time.
But now he's using them medicinally. No, don't have me do it properly.
All right, yeah, exactly. Just put a dip in, man. I'm telling you right now, man, I will just.
Here's my question. Does anyone I know that eats prunes, they're over a certain age, and the doctor has recommended that they eat prunes. Do you know anyone who genuinely, this guy ate prunes because he likes prunes? Honest to God, just in my mind, no one actually likes prunes.
Prunes are plums, correct?
But I like plums, right? A prune is just a dried plum.
Right.
Yeah.
So what if you ate a bunch of plums? Wouldn't it do the same thing in theory?
Well, don't dates kind of make you go to the bathroom too?
I don't know. Mike, do you have any knowledge on this? Because, people, it's always prunes. It's not plums.
It depends on the date, how she looks.
I think dates do have a little bit of that effect, not near as much as prunes, though. I've heard that prunes are absolutely nature's diuretic, as well as coconut milk. But
coconut milk?
Oh, yeah. Fresh coconut milk.
Did you know this, or did you find this out?
I've learned this. Honestly, it's a line from Castaway.
Have you ever had somebody open up a coconut before and give you a tea and a big straw on the beach or whatever?
No, I hate coconuts.
It's not good.
It's not. It's just water, and it tastes like crap.
It tastes like dirt.
Right.
They got, For whatever reason, I hate coconut, but I like that coconut water.
Really?
I would never buy the thing. Oh, I haven't been on a beach like that, but I would buy them. It would seem like an easy way to hydrate.
Apparently, it's a good way to hydrate if you're hungover, but it tastes absolutely horrible.
You're just trying to pound it to get it down. It's terrible. You just don't want to be insulting to people.
It's just better. I guess sometimes it's just better than nothing. Regular water. Sometimes you get bored with it, so it's like, I'll drink a coconut water.
Well, the cool thing is the guy does it with a machete.
Right, so you're like,
No, I get that. I'm saying I would just drink cans of it.
Ew, man.
What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, all of it, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
At Avocado, we believe everyone deserves a safe, healthy mattress and a great night's sleep. That's why we're so excited to introduce our new Eco-Organic mattress, starting at just $6.99 with easy financing and made with the same incredibly comfortable, naturally cool materials you've come to expect from Avocado. It's a radically affordable, certified organic mattress held to the highest standards of social and environmental responsibility. Organic sleep awaits at avocadomattress.com.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Check out a couple brand new podcasts. Brand new Greatest Story Never Told podcast is available now, radio.com. We talk about the lovely Christy Shake.
Yes.
Let me say she's lovely. She is lovely. Check out episode number 64 there. Steve tried to kill a Playboy model at one point.
I tried. Didn't work.
And, by the way, one more for you. There's a brand new podcast on radio.com, Unsolved Mysteries, a weekly podcast based on the long-running television show. It's on Netflix now and all that. Unsolved Crimes, Missing Persons, Fugitives. You remember Unsolved Mysteries. Well, right now, season 1 of Unsolved Mysteries, the podcast is available now on radio.com. And a buddy, Johnny Panzarella, not making this up. They used to do reenactments in Annapolis, in Baltimore, D.C., because it looked like old time England and things like that with the cobblestone streets and all that crap. And Johnny had to carry a card with him that said that he was an actor on Unsolved Mysteries in case anybody came up, because at one point in time he played someone who knocked someone off. And they never got the guy. Well, Johnny had a card in his wallet that said, I am an actor on Unsolved Mysteries. If you have any questions, read this card.
Because the problem is...
people think that
you're
stuff is
looking,
real.
You know, at the end, they say, hey, and if anyone has information.
Yeah.
So now this guy who did the reenactment, you know, he's a Sam's
but this
Club.
is from 1863.
Yeah. But they're still like, I reckon that's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's
so
the guy
they
that
called
killed
the authorities.
that Confederate soldier he killed.
Yeah, and he's still like, dude, I'm an actor.
Right.
I'm playing him on TV.
Yeah. Season 1 of Unsolved Mysteries podcast is available now on radio.com. All right, a question. What was upsetting your tummy there? 206-421-ROCK.
We had a guy who called, and he said the one thing that everyone knows, in theory, upsets your stomach, prunes, right? He said he wanted like a pound and a half, bag and a half, whatever the hell it was. Anyway.
Well, it doesn't upset your stomach. I think it just gets things going.
Right.
It's a natural dietary fiber.
Them. But he had to poop. And I'm like, who actually likes prunes? At least in my experience, everyone I know that's had to eat prunes is 60 or over. Doctor recommended, and they're never happy doing it.
The juice is terrible.
Well, apparently I'm wrong. Someone else says, I had a prune this AM with some other dried fruit. Delicious. Sorbitol helps by making gas in addition to fiber. Someone else says, I'm 25. I like prunes, but they add, the key is to eat them in moderation. Someone else, as a child, my brother, 8 or 9 years old, he spent, oh no, that's the wrong one, sorry. What is it? Basically, his brother ate prunes, spent the rest of the next day sitting on the toilet.
I mean, I kind of want to eat some now to see if I like them, but I'm scared.
I don't know anyone who likes them, and I know the end result.
Do you guys want to sit in here one day and just eat a whole bag of them, see what happens?
Yeah. Who goes first?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, we can start when we get into work and see what happens.
Now, Ted, before my now wife, I'm dating her, but it's long distance. We're in Seattle. She's still back on the East Coast, all right? And she calls me up. It's after the show that we used to do on The Buzz. How are you guys? I said, oh, man, we're great. We're great. How was everyone? I said, we're fine. I said, well, actually, Ted's not back at the apartment yet because on the show, there was the urban myth that a human being cannot consume an entire gallon of whole milk, I guess.
In an hour.
In an hour. And Ted did it. In like 56, 57 minutes. But, I mean, you got the whole thing down. Correct. We proved science wrong, blah, blah, blah. Well, the show ends. Miles and I, we're all sharing an apartment at this time. We go home. But Ted's still not. It's like an hour later. We still haven't heard from Ted. And the wife's like, well, where's Ted? I'm like, well, he drank that gallon of milk. She's like, he did it? I said, yeah. Where is he now? I said, well, when we left, he was sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
I think he still might be. She was very mad.
Not only that.
Why won't you check? I'm like, you said, what do you want me to do?
Proper little, like, pieces of chalk.
You said it actually like your poop was
It looked
white.
like chalk.
That is so crazy. How long were you on the toilet? Because I mean, it got to
just
the point.
weren't more one of those things like you get off, but then you couldn't leave. You know what I mean?
Right, because you always need to be close, and then you have to walk a half mile of boring, straight up.
Right, because
straight
if you
up
go
a
for
hill.
a walk or something, I mean, Miles, you know, like sometimes like you leave the house and you're on that point of like, I can't go too far.
Right, it's like the Hotel California.
Yeah,
you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Well, you rather play a home game, so there's a lot of times like I just need to wait 5 more minutes and see if anything's going to happen here before I just get in my car and start driving down the road. Because that's not a good either. What's up? What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Scott. Welcome to the men's room. Yeah, we'll get back to Scott.
Yeah, come on, Scott, turn it down.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Danny.
Danny, are you there?
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right. So, a couple years ago, I was working as a chef at a senior living facility, and they were pretty liberal with what you could eat. So I was basically eating bacon-wrapped filet mignon and drinking my face off every day. And at some point, I decided I was putting on a little too much weight, so I decided one of them had to go, and it wasn't going to be the alcohol. So I went to like a mostly pescatarian diet. I eat seafood a couple times a week. And no problems. During football season, I eat hot wings, no problems. But I've discovered that I pretty much can't really eat steak anymore without it becoming a major problem. Like, I went out and got steak with my buddies, or if I go get like a carne asada burrito, it basically is like, I'm going to need to be in the bathroom like 4 times within the next hour and a half.
Oh, so it doesn't bind you up. It runs right through you.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like I've had like hamburgers, but I think like steak is just so dense, and I don't have the microbiome anymore. Like I love it, and I'm still gonna eat it, but like I know like if I'm gonna go on a date or something, do not eat steak because it's gonna be an issue.
How long had you stopped eating red meat before you went back to it and it turned into the poop monster?
I probably went like about 7 or 8 months without eating it at all, and then I was like, oh, it's my birthday, so I'm going to have a steak. I went to Ruth's Chris, and I got a little sick that time, but like I was trying to quit smoking and I had a patch on and was dipping and smoke same time.
Jeez.
So I thought it was that. So I was like, whatever.
Well, that's a heavy dose of nicotine.
Yeah, I would have thought that too.
Nicotine is a diuretic as well.
Yeah, as you can tell, I just make unwise decisions sometimes. But yeah. So then, so now, I've gone to like, I'm more flexible about it. Like if I go out and there's nothing good that looks good on the menu that's vegetarian or with fish in it, then I just go, screw it, I'm going to have meat. But
how long is your window? So from the time you finish eating your steak, how long before you need to sit down on the toilet?
I'm pretty sure we left the taco place I went to, had a carne asada burrito last week. We made it. We left, went to the next bar. I got a beer and was instantly like, I have to go to the bathroom now. Like, so 20 minutes.
How about alcohol? Does alcohol ever trigger you to need to go to the bathroom too? You sit down, you have your first couple sips of beer. Sometimes that happens to me.
My body's pretty used to running on that 24/7 at this point.
How much weight did you lose on your pescatarian diet?
Probably like, I got back down to 15 or 20 pounds less than I was at the time, which is when I normally am. I'm like pretty muscular after I was in the Army. I used to be really skinny. I was about 130 pounds and 5'7" before the Army, but now I hover around like 175.
And you're 6'7".
Quit the meat, I was like 190.
Okay. That's
so
walk away from meat and it did you dirty.
I'm with you on the alcohol, especially on like the weekend, right? If you get up early and like if it's an NFL Sunday, like having a beer at like 9:45 or 10 a.m. is like having a cup of coffee. Like halfway through, it's like, all right, I got to go finish the business before we can watch this game.
Well, typically for me, it's where am I and what are the facilities like? Because there's a couple places that I go that have an outdoor deck or whatever, but I know for a fact that you do not want to go to the bathroom in there. Because either it's just, there's like no door on the stall or whatever the deal is.
But you roll the dice too, as you golfers get up so damn early.
Oh, I know. It's
how many times have you just pooped behind the trees?
You know, man, knock on wood.
Because you're walking all day.
I have not done that yet.
How many people do you know?
Tons.
Golf is a lot of old people too.
You can walk out in the woods and look for a ball because you hit a ball in the woods and there's a pair of underwear in there. I mean, that's just kind of part of the territory.
The sports of gentlemen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I just know, like, I've gotten up to watch English soccer before and been at a bar at, like, 6 a.m.
It's different, man.
Right, by, like, 7:30, it's like, I don't care how bad it is. Like, I got to get in that bathroom.
What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
You're talking about eating prunes on the air as a challenge on the show. Someone says, there's your excuse to try and poop in the adult diapers on the air. Start pounding the prunes during the Facebook video. Let nature do the rest. Quick side note, if you weren't with us on that episode a few years ago, we put on adult diapers just to see if we could poop ourselves on the air.
Or just use the bathroom. Just to physically get past the stigma of using the bathroom in your pants.
Right, because
even if you just peed.
Right, as an adult, like mentally, even with the diaper on, like mentally, you just
your body won't allow you to do it.
It's like, no, get them, go to the bed, even with the diaper. But that said, the boss was not particularly pleased with us on that day. Because remember, he was out of the office, and he gets there about halfway through the show, and he's like, are you guys actively trying to defecate on there? I said, no, we're not trying. It's just, should that moment happen, could we just do it in the diaper? And he said, right, but that would be on the air. We're like, well, yeah, if we got to that point. And he said, well, if you would asked me if you could do this, I would have said no. So I decided to be honest. I said, right, but you weren't here this morning. That's why we decided to do it today. Because we knew that you would say no.
You know what's amazing is when, like, let's just say you're in your car and you're 3 miles from your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you've got to go real bad. By the time you get to your home, it's like a countdown.
It's
clock.
Unbearable.
It's a countdown clock, and when you're walking in the house, or the closer you get to the bathroom,
it becomes agonizing.
Now, it could be 10 miles, and it's the same process.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it could
be a longer period of time, but whenever you're opening the door to your home and you're going that way, it's like your body and your mind immediately just put you on like this. Like, you got 5 seconds, buddy, to get your ass up there and pull the pants down.
Yeah, but that's
it's amazing.
You ask yourself, like, because when you're growing up and everything you learn about the amazing human body, everything it does, in theory, is to help you, right? I mean, it's the whole thing about being alive. But to your point, like, hey, I've held this for 20 miles, 10 miles, 3 miles.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Whenever it was. And we did okay. Like, I knew there was a sense of urgency, but even my body, you were working with me, right? Mm-hmm. And then my belief is the moment you put your house key into the lock, that's when your body says, we are not helping you anymore. Right?
Right, seriously.
Wherever
this is up to you from here.
But it's true of anywhere that you've determined you're going to go to the bathroom. I've been in a place where there's no buildings to go into a bathroom, so you're outside. I know I'm going to pee outside, all right? But you're walking, and the urgency's there, but your body's still working with you. But when I finally spy that alley I'm going to use, right, like, ooh, once I make that decision, like, that's where it's going to happen, your body stops. And it's the same thing. Like, come on, man. Can you just buy me 10 extra seconds? There's nothing worse, and I don't know if this happens with women too, but as a guy, for sure, you know, when we pee, we're standing up, man. So you're running in the bathroom, you got to pee. And as you're undoing your pants, I mean, the moment you put your hands on the buttons of your pants, you're starting to enrage. So by the time you can whip it out and actually pee, like, it's kind of actively going.
It happens at your own home.
That's what I mean.
Like you were talking about, right? Like eating that macaroni salad or whatever you're eating, right? Like, I've done it too. Your stomach's real upset, and it's like you wake up in the middle of the night, and it's like you've just sat down.
I mean, the minute.
Best one I've ever seen in my life, man. My buddy Jeff had to go real bad. We were driving to Pittsburgh.
All right.
And there was not a lot of room to pass on this, or to pull over on this one area because it was kind of like a suspended bridge. But not really over anything. It was just the way the elevation was, and it was kind of hard to cut a road through there. So everything was, think about like I-90 before you get to Stevens Pass.
Okay.
How they're kind of like bridges, but they're just supported by pillars.
Sure.
And it's just the terrain's too bad to run a road through there, so it's a bridge. Well, I get to the end of the bridge. And then now there's room on the side to pull over. So I'm going to pull over. Jeff darts out of the car. I just see him run. There's a little Jersey wall barrier, and he hops over the Jersey wall, and he's gone. And I mean, he's gone. And I'm like, and I look, and I'm like, well, I figured you'd see the top of his head.
Oh, no.
When he jumped over that Jersey wall, there was a drop of about 9-8 feet.
I was going to say, right?
And it was still going down a hill. So he landed, and he started rolling down the damn hill.
Did he pee his pants?
He had to climb. Well, yeah, he used the bathroom. Because when he hit, man, like he didn't realize how far it was down. So he hit his tailbone, and he started rolling down the hill.
Apparently, anyway.
when he had a,
oh, no.
When he was crawling back up the hill. So basically, I can't remember what the hell we did. He left his pants there. And he left his underwear there. But I just like, you look down and you're like, oh my God, dude. I can't believe you just jumped over that thing. Like, he didn't even look. He just kind of bunny hopped it. You know what I mean? With his hands. I was like, God, he was gone. It's like, dude, that could have been like 50 feet.
And pooped himself.
You should have looked. What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Vanessa. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Oh, God, I got to take it off the speaker, right? I don't want any feedback here.
Okay.
Finally, I got through. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're glad when we talk about, upset stomachs that you finally wanted to call the program.
That's her bat signal.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm talking Brussels sprouts, okay?
Oh, yeah. Real sexy now.
All right.
Yeah, okay, back in the day, my grandparents, they're old school farmers. They just shoot the cows right in front of us and all that kind of business. And they were always doing the hometown cooking. And just Brussels sprouts boiling up the whole house all the time. I grew up living there. And I just always told them I can't eat the Brussels sprouts. I would go upstairs and throw up just with the smell. Just, because they're boiled. Okay?
Yeah, they don't smell good.
Again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
Boiled Brussels sprouts? It sounds horrible.
That's why they weren't popular.
Mother, and
I want them crispy and fried, deep fried.
That's right. That's what she's saying. That's how I grew up too. We steamed them.
Everyone did.
And it reeks.
It's horrible.
It reeks, just like boiled carrots. Like, I like a raw carrot, but no, like boiled carrots too? No. It's just disgusting. So, anyway, basically, long story short is with this one, I kept telling them, and then one night, well, my grandma used to, if we wouldn't finish our whole plate of food, she'd mix it up and tell us we couldn't leave the table until we finished all our food, and it would mix up together in our stomach anyway. It was just like completely like, just sick and twisted. What do they call it? Mommy dearest kind of thing. And so anyway, one day, whatever, it just happened. Finally, we're at a family dinner, and I just ralphed everywhere.
Because you couldn't take the smell.
Yeah, whoa.
What was your family's deal with Brussels sprouts so often? Like, why was this the go-to?
Right.
It was I think it was like a torture method, to tell you the truth. I mean, I really think that they just had this. I mean, if you knew my family, you'd understand a little bit more where I'm going with. No.
Choice of vegetables isn't a torture. It's like, it's an option. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to make them, you can make green beans, you can make all kinds of things.
You can, but I mean, like, for me, it didn't matter.
No. If you knew my family, you'd know it was a torture method. Believe me. You know, I mean, I had to skin cows and crap. So, yeah, no. And I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian since I was 17, and I am 45 years old. So
is that because of your work skinning cows and working on the farm and all that stuff?
Yeah, pretty much just, I mean, and I love all animals, and I just don't want to eat them, you know, but it's not like I'm hardcore, just like I don't care about if anyone else wants to eat that stuff. I'm not just like out there with the sign picketing in front of McDonald's, but it's just, you know, I don't want that. And so, but the Brussels sprout situation was just out of control.
Would you eat Brussels sprouts now? We go to a restaurant. I hate Brussels sprouts. I'm not going to eat them.
I'll only give a shout out to Local 360 in Belltown. That was the one time I had one Brussels sprout that I ate one.
Shout out.
Tiny half of like a roast.
That's a hell of a shout out.
Well,
I ate part of one Brussels sprout. I did not puke.
But here's what you
shout out.
But here's what you have to know about Local 360. It's exactly that. It's locally sourced.
Right.
Some guy he carries one Brussels sprout to the restaurant on a bicycle all the way from someplace close. You know what I mean? It's amazing how they do that.
I think it's closed, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Right now. For
no,
sure.
no.
You think they closed permanently?
Nah.
I think I'd been there once, and it was decent. And to be fair, I did not try the Brussels sprouts. She's right, though, man. Boiled Brussels sprouts, like what? There's nothing appetizing about the smell. And even when you roast them, like, I can deal with that smell because roasted, most things smell all right. But boiled and I remember my mom, I don't know what my mom's deal was, man. And part of it, I don't think she's trying to torture me. I just think she hated me. But there were certain go-tos that she would do when I was a kid where I'm like, come on, man. So one thing I've never liked is spinach. And it was never the fresh spinach. Always that stuff showed up in the brick. And they thought, and I mean, to me, that tasted horrible. She used to make a thing called tomato pie. It has since changed where it's more of a frittata. But when I was growing up, tomato pie, picture a standard cherry pie. Crust up top, crust on the bottom, the rest is cherries. Same thing, but it's tomatoes. Again, as a child, no deal. But lima beans, which I never understood, she put them on my plate, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, look, man, I already know. I think I was 10 or 11. She said, just try one. Just try. And this went all through dinner. I'm like, I really, really don't think I should do this. By the whole family, and I was like, come on, try one. I put one in my mouth. I chewed it a little. I swallowed, and I puked instantly. I have not touched them since. I was like,
no, they're terrible.
I was like,
the other thing worse than lima beans is peas.
Peas are horrible.
Yeah.
No, peas
I love
terrible.
peas, man.
You can't love peas.
What are you going to eat? Cream chip beef. You got to have peas on the side.
No, why?
Why would you do that that's on a shake?
That's how I grew up.
With peas?
Yeah.
God.
No,
I like lima beans, too. Dude, we used to steam or boil the Brussels and then put them in a bowl of vinegar. That's how we ate them.
Ew.
No. Just no.
The idea of peas and lima beans, though, no. God.
I'm right there with you.
Those are the worst things ever.
Peas and carrots?
Carrots I can have. Yeah. Peas are terrible. What upset your tummy? 206-421-ROCK.